welcome all to another excellent episode of TFT. I'm one of your co-hosts, Broseph, and with me are some special guests, my co-host Dehua, and Frodan and dankmemes01. So, thanks for having you guys here. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on the show. Big fan of TFT and Dehua, so excited to chat.
Me too.
Yeah, excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me. Glad to hear you guys are including aspiring tier 2 players into your podcast.
Yeah, we like to include everyone, including the up and comers. So yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks a lot. All right, cool. We're gonna jump right into it. First part, we wanted to quickly go over the last time on TFT segment, because this was kind of a nuke. What's up?
What?
Nothing. This was kind of a nuke. So on Twitter, sorry, this is one of the pick lists that we made last time. No, it's fine. This is a pick list we made last time. It was primarily constructed by Dehua, but also it was kind of democratically made by us picking who we would actually draft in the regionals draft. Dehua, would you care to explain what's on this list?
Yeah, I think there were some I picked some notable names. You know, I don't even think I picked replay, but I did pick Bishop at 26. I wouldn't be doing that again. I'll be honest. But yeah. I mean, you know, I just picked who I thought, you know, were the level of talent and not talent, the level of skill at the time.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I don't know how that happened. Like the GOAT just ends up at 26, but for some reason it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
What do
Bishop's
you mean?
on.
How do you know? How did it happen? Bro says that you made this list, so you had the executive authority to move people up and down, right?
So we did. It's like a pick list, right? So everyone gets a person of like who would they pick if you're that person ahead of them. And for some reason, I thought Taliant would pick Dish Soap, and I don't know why I thought that. Okay.
Wait, what? So you're saying this is like the order of which you thought they would be drafted in?
Yes. But I also
so
thought
26 is a compliment to Dish Soap.
Don't you want to be picked last?
Yeah.
You want to be picked last, right?
Yeah, you want to be picked last.
Yeah, but like 5 is last. So Satsuko.
No, 32 is first. 32 is first.
Yeah, like people were not picking Onkali last. Unfortunately.
Okay. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I think the problem here was your graphic presentation here. I did not interpret that at all. I thought this was strict power rankings of like most likely to do well versus least likely
We
to
had
do
that
well.
power rankings one. I still had to show pretty low on that one, unfortunately.
Okay, man, you're just delusional. Oh my goodness.
But I want to make it clear, in your power rankings, you didn't have him S tier either. So
Yeah, I'm fourth or fifth. That's like I basically have him exactly where Satsuko is, which I think is entirely reasonable.
Some say otherwise, but that's just me.
He did cite me as a form of inspiration of getting mad, so
I'm just saying,
he did take offense to that.
This show should pay me. Like, let's be real. He's like maybe not studying more, but like maybe 1%. You know, he's thinking about it. You know, as fuel to the fire. You know, all great athletes do that, especially the great electronic athletes. So.
Electronic.
So
I see.
Yeah, like
I see. Okay.
All right.
So you were doing this. It was all 4-dimensional chess to motivate you. So.
It's actually for NA. You know, like like Clay after Game 5. You know, maybe LeBron just got his feelings hurt. So.
Yeah. Wouldn't that make you like Lance Stevenson and him LeBron? Is that what I'm understanding?
I think I'm the Tyrese Halliburton personally of TFT, but
really?
You know, honestly, Lance Stevenson was a great player in his day, so.
That is true. I think you made it to the finals.
But I want to make it clear. I don't think I could top that one. But like Dish Soap, I think he had a pretty good performance in regional. So and I'll be honest, after I went 7-7 in his lobby,
he was shaking too. He was shaking too.
Oh, bro. I opened my Twitch chat. I had a lot of viewers in there that I did not recognize before. They were typing some crazy stuff. So, but yeah.
All right, cool.
But we made it here now, so yeah.
All right, yeah. Moving on. The regionals recap. So this is a screenshot of the scores after day 2 of regionals. I think overall we did pretty good. I think our read going over was pretty good. I think we, like, for our first regionals, I'm like very impressed with at least how I did and like some of the people I studied with. Dank, did you get to watch a lot of regionals? You did, right?
Yeah, I basically watched through Dehua and Chun.
How was Chun playing? How was Chunnington playing?
I think he was kind of nervous, but I think he like stuck to his read and he played like what he was comfortable with. But at the same time, I felt like watching him, he was kind of nervous. So maybe next regionals he'll do better.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean, if he does better, he probably goes to Worlds, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think our read just going into it was like very 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 good. Like we actually prepped a lot for this regionals, and I'm like really proud of everyone, like even Max. But yeah, like me, you, Chun, like I think we did like an incredible job, and like the time we put in, like it definitely paid off, even though you guys didn't end up going to Worlds or Final Up.
Yeah, Dan, what do you think was the biggest upset?
The read exactly.
Oh, the read. We'll tell you the read. Yeah, we'll tell you the read. Okay. Dehua can fill it in where I get it wrong, but basically, if you got like a very strong AD opener, you want to try to slam Kraken, Ginsu, and play into Vanguard Marksman actually a little bit more, especially if you have the Vanguard opener, because unless you have some kind of really strong Mord early, the 2-star Vanguards tended to be the strongest opener with Cog. So if you got that, you try to play into Vanguard Marksman. And then, but you could also play into Exotech, was like the center stuff. We actually read that very seldomly did you want to try to go into that line multi-way contested. So if you found an out to play Cypher at any point, and it was not contested, you were supposed to try to play Cypher. And if you found any out to play a Fast 9 comp, either Boombots or Dynamo, you were also supposed to try to play one of those comps as well. I think over the course of the tournament, I played no more than 2 Zeri games and no more than 2 Vanguard games throughout the entire tournament. I think I played a lot of quite a bit of Cypher and quite a bit of like random reroll comps as well.
Yeah, I think days 1 and 2, I primarily played Vanguards. I only had 1 Zeri game, I think, actually throughout the whole tournament. I know like that was like a heavy prio from a lot of people, but yeah, I think like most of it was Cypher, and then a lot of Vanguard Marksman, and then I played a couple Urgot games, even though that line was like I wasn't great at it. So
I was under the impression that you guys also were fans of AMP.
Yes.
Maybe Dehua especially.
Yeah, we like if you were open. So here's the AMP read. Dank Memes is the godfather of AMP. He basically taught all of us how to play the comp like actually really well. Like from like primary Yuumi to you're always playing for Yuumi 3 to rolling for Cypher early. A bunch of stuff like that, and like optimizing your items and always reforging Cloak instantly. With that, we basically you were supposed to play AMP if you were contested on Cypher, and you would be in those spots because you have to out-open the Cypher guy. Because if someone else is playing Cypher and they're gonna try to lost streak, and you're trying to play AMP, you have to snap their lost streak, otherwise you're going to be at a significant disadvantage, and they can't really sell their units, whereas you can. So you would play AMP in those spots where you got like a decent econ augment early, and then you would play if you weren't allowed to play Cypher in that game. Was our read?
Yeah, roughly. I actually did not play any AMP games, I think day 1 and 2.
I mean, you gotta pull it out day 3 sometimes.
Yeah, but
is Dankmemes the best AMP player on the server?
In his prime, yeah. I would say.
In his prime?
Well, I mean, you don't play AMP right now, but yeah, I guess so, yeah. I think so.
I mean, there was some questionable stuff going on in Comp 3 regarding his AMP play, but...
Oh, yeah.
There are a couple incidents, but I will say in scrims, I think my AVP and AMP was in the 1s, and I'm pretty sure it was closer to 1 than 2. So, I think it got to the point where we were like three-way contesting AMP every game, and we had to like tell people like stop opening every single game because.
I find that happens in study groups when one person has a really strong conviction that is that has a lot of like it's like they have like a good read on it. A lot of people also latch onto it, but then they like practice. This happens to Wajan's group as well. Mm-hmm. They develop like some bad scrim environments where it like ends up warping their practice a little bit because their reads are heavily influenced by what they do know, and that's edge that they have gained, but it messes with their practice a little bit.
Yeah, like I don't think our group had enough Zeri practice, I'm pretty sure. For Cup 3 especially.
Or Fast 9 practice.
We were very bad at Zeri, and we learned Fast 9 the day between days 1 and 2 of Cup from EU. They taught us Fast 9.
Yep.
Yeah, EU's been on the Fast 9 Urgot train for like a month and a half. Like it wasn't as prominent as it is now, but when it was first even like getting played at all, it was like I remember learning that from EU as well.
Yeah, like we've known about the comp for a long time. It's just like until the Kraken rework, that comp wasn't like super. It was really inconsistent to try to play before, or at least under optimized, and they kind of taught us the optimizing. Never make Vex 2 under any circumstance. Don't make any of the upgrades until you have at least an Urgot, hopefully Urgot 2. And then like the unit prio and the item prio is also really important. If you get it wrong, it's the difference between like going 8th and winning the game a lot of time.
Yep.
And it's still good on this patch, so we can do that later too. Okay.
Yeah, I think.
Oh yeah. What is it?
I think specifically about AMP, like everyone, like we all were like really trying hard to climb for Cup 3 snap because like a lot of us needed just like a reasonable cup performance. So I think everyone like used AMP to like climb to get like to the 1500 area because it's like very exploitive. I think of
ladder too.
Like if your lobby, of ladder and like your lobby's kind of being weak and unable to actually fully cap. But like everyone was super comfortable on that line because that's all we were playing for like maybe a solid 3 weeks. So like we actually had like really bad like internal like discussion because that's all we would play. And that's the only thing we thought could actually like win, and it like turned out to not be the case going into Cup 3.
Yep. All right, and then on to the big story of the night. We sent Dehua to Worlds. Dehua,
Wait, are we done talking about like the rest of the field?
Oh,
there's a couple of things I want to.
Oh yeah, I didn't want to like go too long.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay. How good does it feel to be Darth Noob, man? At
Bro,
the end of day 2,
I saw his spot.
This guy was dead in the water, 19 points. He's like, holy shit, it's over. It's over. I can't make Pro League. I can't believe I bombed out. I qualified via ladder. People were hyping me up. I feel good. All I have to do is not go bot 4. And he's at 19. And then they cut the last game off. And this guy just to sit.
Oh my God.
With so much anxiety over the night. And he has to watch next. Like, the thing is, if you get eliminated day 1, you can just like, okay, I'm not going to watch day 2. I'm done. TFT, I'll see you next day. He had to wake up and watch the next set of the games the day, and then like watch and wait for anticipation of what's gonna happen.
Dude, his spot was so crazy, man.
The miracle out on Kali somehow goes like with like 7th or 8th, and then like everything ended up panning perfectly, and Darth Noob barely makes it. Crazy.
It's like 2 points. Have you seen on Kali's spot on 3-1? That game he went 8th?
Yeah, I casted that game.
Oh, you did? It's like at least 2, like 3 items. Like it's just like nobody would ever expect that you ever go 8 from there, which is just crazy. And then actually, like I'm like, we're like friends with Darth, so I was actually talking to him like the day after, and he was telling me like he did not watch like day 2 at all. He was thinking that like he's like,
he checked out. I was like, it's math. It's no way.
So I asked him like, did you think you were making it out when you saw him calling on 3-1? He's like. He literally told me I didn't watch it. Someone just told me I made it out, and that like he just was not planning to watch any regionals at all. I think after his day 1. So
oh man,
I don't know.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That study group always finds a way to hold the line and just always make it out into something. Him and Ruby play.
And the other thing that stood out to me was sort of like Greya flaming out and Wasian at the last second, kind of yoinking the spot. And we kind of thought it was going to come down to Kerm versus Greya and like locking in, and maybe somehow Wasian or even Broseph, right?
I was 2 points off. I was I was like 2 or 3 placements, and I was 1 point at any tournament in the entire season off from making Worlds, I think. Other than Final Day. Final Day wouldn't have me. Or Final.
And then Greya went from like the most likely player to make it to Worlds going to regionals to not making it at all. So that was probably one of the biggest surprises for me in the tournament, because I think the Greya is a fantastic player.
Yeah, I think there was a particular kind of read that actually didn't do super well. It's like, I think the people who are very exotech heavy, other than like Ambuli, I think Cambly was Exotech heavy, but I'm not 100% sure.
Like Cam and Bobster looked like they had.
Yeah, Cambly, Bobster, and Robin looked like they had Exotech figured out. And if you were not one of the better players at Exotech, you were just gonna place under them. I thought. I thought Pokygom was like Exotech and Amp heavy actually in Cup 3, and I thought Greya had a similar read, and it just kind of didn't do as well as they kind of hoped for, I would say.
It's like Cam played it in 33% of his games. But yeah, I like something just doesn't click with me when it comes to Exotech. But yeah, I mean, I thought Greya it was like really unfortunate because I mean I think everyone thought going in like he was one of like the top 3 players of the set, and I think it was like pretty.
I thought he was a lock personally. Yeah. That was really shocking to me.
Yeah, and I want to say like it's kind of unfortunate for Broseph. He was 1 point off, and like there was like so many things to set like especially Cup 1 that like really sucked.
Field was good.
Yeah, but you kind of like maxed what you could because even if you got a couple more points, you wouldn't get a placement, right?
Yeah, so I would have needed to beat Weijin in Cup 2 on the Annie game, or I would have needed to not mess up my position against Robin in Cup 3 either. Or I could have Giga closed out my Graves game, which would have sent Philip 1 point below and given me +3 points. So that it was actually doable. Like my luck was good enough to make world. That just wasn't in that tournament.
Never mind. I rescinded it. I said it wasn't. At least it wasn't close. It was close.
It was actually close.
Yeah, I think especially also Chunnington, like, if you remember the Kubugo 3 game, his Ghost beat Setsuko's Ghost, and if he went first in that lobby and Setsu went like
2 points, 2 placements lower.
Yeah, like
he Giga dodged the Kubugo 3. He dodged it for like 3 or 4 rounds. He should have hit it.
Yeah, like maybe even Chun is like also making final lobby in that spot. So, I mean, it's just interesting. Like it's like you look at this field and it's like even though like maybe the 8th to 9th doesn't look that tight, like there were so many moments like throughout the whole tournament that are so tight that could really just like flip things up.
Yeah, the 8th to 9th looks like a chasm, but it's not really. It's not so as it appears.
Yep. So yeah.
Okay, sorry, we can move on. Sorry for yapping.
No, it's all good. Congrats to all the people who made Tier 1 circuit. It will be a pleasure competing next set.
Yep.
Alright. On to the final lobby. The final lobby was kind of crazy. We have like a it was like almost entirely a 3-way race throughout the entire day 3 between Bobster, Cambly, and Dehua. I think they all held first place at a different point, and they were, I think, pretty much the only ones that held first place other than Bakwa Kasa, who went like, was it 1-1 or 1-8? I forgot. Was it 1-1-8 or?
We went like 1-2 and.
Oh yeah, it was 1-3-8-8-8 after. So throughout that part of the tournament, I was watching it. I was cheering on Dehua. I got to see like a lot of perspectives. How did you get a chance to kind of see what Bobster and Cambly were doing really well from your perspective?
Well, so Cam from what I've come to understand, Cam plays his meta lines fairly well. I did notice that he was playing a lot of 4 cost, like Zeri next to tech. He was converting off them really well. He did a really good job, I think, stabilizing when he wasn't. Like, I think the sauce of Exotech is like what happens until you get to Zeri 2 to 22. Even less situations when you're stuck on Mordekaiser 1, that actually is pretty common, like a Mord 1, Zeri 1. And I think he did some pretty good navigation around that. I wasn't super dialed to him because I really thought I was mainly focused on Bobster versus Dehua actually more than that because Cam was sort of a dark horse that came in the last couple games. But Bobster was doing some weird stuff. I think like in general his approach to augment selection is pretty different than I think traditional thought. Like he's taken things like gold Spores of War.
I saw that.
I think a lot of people are consider that to be like untakeable in many situations, especially from the spot that he did. And then he played like Vanguard Marksman from like mid-streak / behind, and then was basically getting like correct side, like basically squeezing out fight after fight, incremental value, and then kind of like somehow plays top 2. Those are like really, really tough places to squeeze out. I think he had some good matchmaking luck when it mattered the most, but those are kind of the games that stand out to me a lot. I think he definitely has a different approach to tempo. But there were also a couple games where it's like traditional, like tempo into win streak and then flame out in like 6th or 7th. That happened a couple times as well. And I do think that's like one of his areas where maybe that's like intentional. Maybe he's like, yeah, it's a bad game, so I'm just going to try to like play that. But that kind of play style, I think, especially like this patch, will struggle a lot in Worlds. So I hope that that's not going to be the case because I think in scrims he was doing fairly well in a couple days, and then like today he didn't do well. So I'm not entirely sure what form he's in versus if he's experimenting or like limit testing stuff.
It's like really hard to tell with scrims because like you can tell some players are just like they're trying to push like every fast 9 spot. I don't know. I think Bobster like he played like crazy lines and like I don't know like just lines like I can't even like conceptualize like from 2-1 like spots that I just look at it and I'm like, how are we even thinking about going top 4 here? And then for some reason you just blink, like you just flash forward 30 minutes and it's like he's just like guaranteed top 2 and it's just like really insane.
He also some tech edge, like he was like one of the few people playing Bastion Morgana in NA. And, or at least like there's only like 5 or 6 games of it, but I think he had like 2 of them or something. So he at least had like other tech up his sleeve that was there. It was more popular in EU, but it wasn't popular in NA. So a couple of like good plays, but I think got like a second with one of them.
No, yeah. No, like I think like I remember like through scrims going into like into regionals, like it was like Bobster and Cam, me and Broseph just kept on like hammering home like these guys just know something we don't when it comes to like certain lines. And like we always wanted to watch and then like we just couldn't like figure it ever out. It was like really like I don't know, like because I think when I play my EXO average, like if you look at it since Cup 3, it's probably like in the 5s, like a 5.x. So I'm like really impressed on how they like make a lot of these different prompts like just work.
Haters will say they always hit Trade Tracker, but it has to be something.
Yeah.
I'm always really impressed when players can do that because not to say that what Cam or Dehua, I'm just gonna cut it there in terms of like the rest of the player list here was less impressive, but I always find it interesting when people can find things that work for them. Maybe it's like a stars align moment, like maybe Bobster just got lucky, right? In reality, taking these weird lines, these weird augments. But a player that sort of like finds their own success with that path, I think is really interesting for a lot of reasons. It usually means that they think about the game very differently. And I always think those players are pretty good and worthwhile to talk to. So it's a really good story because I think the last time Bobster really like, I mean, he did terribly at the end of set 12 after an amazing set of tournaments. And so like the redemption story there is really good for him to come back and then kind of go like stick to his style, which is like he didn't try to he flamed out the end of state 12, didn't really do much in set 13 because he had so few chances. And then comes back in set 14, really strong, saying, I'm just going to stick to my guns and continue focus on improvement. Wins regionals and does well most of the set. And I mean, I peg him as one of the upper midfield for Worlds.
Cool. All right. Yeah. I remember in terms of the rest of it, there was like a cool, there's like a 3-way race at the very end between Setsuko, Cash, and Philip as well. Why do you take that augment? Felt like it. That's probably why he took Spoils of War, honestly. That's probably why he took Spoils of War, I'll be honest.
Yeah. It's like 11 Lumen weird play.
I mean, the summary of that kind of stuff is because his instinct says that he feels like he can take it. And that's just really hard to explain to stats Andes like T-Lides, you know, who like say, I need to look at this. It's a 4.6, it's a 4.4. I'm clicking the 4.4, bro. And so some people are like that, and then some other people are like, man, I'm just gonna go off of I guess they just say vibes because that's the fastest way they can summarize it.
Yeah, I know he lied because there's options were horrible and was forced, but like I look at his spot and it's like even then I can't believe there's not like 5 actually better augments like that you can actually take over Spoils of War. It's like because it wasn't like a win streak opener if I remember correctly. Like it was like
he won 2 rounds or something on stage.
Yeah, it was like a pretty mediocre opener, and it's like I think like most people see that it's like a 5.1, like if you add a attributor number to it in this spot. So I just thought that was like incredibly impressive.
Can I talk about my man Philip?
Oh, bro, man, it's so sad.
Dude, I'm so sad. He's so nice.
This dude missed just barely, and it feels bad. It feels like this was like, well, all of NA got in except for one guy. And Philip is he's a player that actually feels like this almost like summarizes a lot of his career so far as TFT. Like he's always just on the outside looking in. And I felt really bad because I felt like he put a pretty solid campaign. And to make matters worse, it was sort of like a miracle scenario they even got him here in the first place because he got in because of the bans to Vitality. Like he got the regional spot because Soju and Spencer and all of them got banned. So him and Replay get that spot. And he was like, "Oh my god, I might make worlds off of this," and it just feels like his hopes got like maximized just to be, because like you go into the final day and you're like, okay, all I have to do is like not go in the bottom 3, right?
It just feels so bad. It feels so bad.
Oh
like,
my god!
I just need to not go 8th or 7th, and then it's exactly what happens. Man.
Yeah, I mean, I can just like personally tell you, like those first 3 games, like you're just really hoping you can settle in and just like have enough points, and then you can like actually think about kind of going for the win. Like like I don't think I'm taking the line I do game 6 if I'm not already guaranteed, right? Just because you don't want to be that guy who just goes 8th in his last game and then now you're just out of worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel really bad because like you actually don't know like how many times like he's one of the only people I think that works as well. So you don't know how much like time you actually have left and like to actually compete at like this highest level. And like I think it's like, I mean, I know like how much I wanted and he's been going at it for longer than me. So I just, yeah, he's just like, this really sucks. I think. Yeah.
All right. So. Dang, did you have anything you wanted to say about any of these players? I know you work with Robin, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, I guess for me, like the biggest takeaway, I have been watching the final lobby. I mainly watched Dehua on his stream, Robin and Sensico on their stream, like Bobster and Kimberly guys in Frodan's stream. And I think the biggest thing I realized was just like how many distinct playstyles that there can be TFT, right? And like watching all those plays, you can immediately tell that like all of them think about the game super differently. Right? They're all really different reads. They all like value different things in the game. Like for example, Dehua is a lot more heavy on like streak, like maximum econ, right? And where others, like Robin and Bobster, I guess, are much more focused on like tempo and stuff like that. So I think it's like really cool how many like viable playstyles there are in the game, I guess. And I think like all these different players finding success with that.
I actually find it interesting because I thought, because I want to thank dankmemes because before the tourney, because he's been here before, right? Like he's been in these like I don't really talk to anyone else who's been in these kind of final lobbies.
He's the only one in our group who's made regionals, man. No one else has made regionals, and he's double worlds, man.
But he DM'd me before the game. He was like, I have some thoughts on kind of how the final lobby dynamics kind of works, because it's not often you get 6 games with the same 8 people, right? And like he kind of told me like people really have these distinct play styles, kind of figure that out in your first 2 games and then try to kind of exploit it there, and then like kind of exploit the fact that people are trying to go to worlds. Like I think going first is like maybe not second, but it's like kind of going to worlds is like the first thing people kind of have in mind. And I actually found in like the final lobby that I think most of the people were like 7 out of 8 besides me, and then like maybe Robin one other game, were really just trying to like tempo their way into like a top 4 to eventually make it. But yeah. So I actually
and then you queue up with 3 people from China.
Yeah, that is
with 2 of them with nothing to lose. Just watch your back, son, is all I'll say.
Yeah, but like I'm not trying to like brag kind of, but like I felt after game 2, I felt that I had a really good shot to actually win. Just because I could tell nobody was ever going to willing to contest me on their loss streak.
Yeah, you got loss streak uncontested, which was pretty good which is really good on that, or pretty good on that patch, I would say.
Which I think if you knew how to play Amp, you knew how to play Cypher, I thought that was like a significant edge. Because if you didn't get anything from your blue orb or your white orbs, you didn't get any units there, like being able to kind of have that like backup play that can still go first is just like, it's like really, really insane. But yeah, so
agreed.
But yeah, like
you also branded yourself as such too.
Yeah, he branded himself as the lost streaker.
You branded yourself that you've been kissed by more dog on your level 8 roll downs. So
I think
people don't want to contest that either.
I think I high rolled, but like I don't think I got like there's some games like there's one game in like the first 2 days, like you're just like Exalted Adventure and like Galileo Variety and you get LeBlanc.
Oh yeah, LeBlanc, I don't know how that happened.
LeBlanc Alawi, it's just like, okay,
Adventure.
You just know the game is over from 2-1. And like,
yeah.
Like the thing is, it's funny because I think like I don't think many people are actually watching me play like the first 2 days, where it's like I did actually like try to play for win streak and tempo some of these games, but I just think like in that final lobby there was just like if they're giving you free dinner, you might as well take it. So yeah, like I've talked about this with other people after, and I actually thought like if you were to play this regionals final lobby like 100 times, I thought I had significant edge in the whole field actually. like at that specific point.
I can see that.
So, because I like I don't know, like I was told after that I played pretty well, like according to my spots. So, and yeah.
By people who had the same read, but that's all good.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just funny because it's like you could tell, like in my mind, it's like the prep is just clicking, and it's like all the time you kind of put into it, it's just like it works, and it's like you can actually just like win regionals. So
yeah, there's no better feeling in a tournament to see a spot and know exactly what you're supposed to do there. Like you do not want to be lost. Like low roll is one thing. You do not want to be lost because then it's all your fault because you just don't know what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, I think for me, the type of player I am, is like I really like putting myself in lines where you don't really have to think that hard. Like you just find your line, you play it well. Like you're in Cypher or you're in Amp, right? Like you know you're in Amp or in Cypher basically the whole game. Like since 2-1, I mean you have no units in your board, right? So it's yeah, I mean I just felt like that day I played pretty well, and I actually thought I was more nervous on day 2 than I was on day 3, which I know a lot of people don't actually feel that way. So
I mean, it might be a bit harder to make it in because you're cutting to top 8, right? Versus cutting to top 6 on top 6.
Yeah. And then obviously like I don't know if we want to talk about it. Or, like I'm fine if you guys have any questions about like the end. So it was just like
we're getting cooked by Bryce and Jeff.
The good old days.
Everyone Playstyle plays an outlier in TFT. That's because everyone was worse at the game, Bryce. That's this official take on that is everyone was bad at the game. And also, I mean, also because augments didn't exist, because augments lock you into doing specific types of things, because you need to continue down the path that you got set for.
And if you have calculus on 2-1, we're not trying to play for win streak. I can tell you that.
Bro, I remember there was an era where we were like the last time calculus was in the game, we were like, yeah, it's fine to just mix streak and play calculus because then it's just straight sector, right? It gives you a reroll, it gives you goals, the same thing. And oh my god, we were so bad at the game that.
Just like I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. I think it was set 4 or maybe set. No, it was not set 4. Obviously, it was like set 6 or set 7 maybe. Where you could play calculus lost streak, but like. We just like, did not min-max our resources well enough, I think.
Yep, you're just not playing optimal TFT. So, yeah. I don't know. But I like, obviously, like, this final lobby was kind of bittersweet, because, like, Game 6 happened. But, like, honestly, it's low-key my fault. Like, I played Amp so many times, and Yumi has bugged so many times on me. Can't really be that mad after that. I mean, like, every 5th game is, like, someone coming into the call during ladder snaps, and then someone bitching about their Yumi bugging out and then losing the game. Like it's a known thing. It's a known thing, man. Yeah, like so. It is what it is. Yeah. At that point. All right. Well, congrats on making the world. That's why we named the podcast what it is. Anywho, we just today or like last night we had our actual roster coming because APAC and China just finished all their competitions. So. From NA, we got a list of everyone going in. Any comments on any of the groups of players? Yeah, have you been keeping up with the CN scene?
Yeah, I watched pretty much all CN competitions I could. What do you want to know?
Ooh, okay. Any players stand out to you with like either just like solid performances or specific playstyles?
So there are 3 people specifically worth calling out in China for multiple reasons. The first is that I think the strongest player, just in terms of like who has been doing the best, is Li Xiao. Li Xiao is EWC champion, Asia Cup champion. Has done really well. He's on Falcons. Vitality is actually really happy he made it because we think that he is going to get burnt out from playing at Worlds. We were actually like low-key hate watching Setsuko because we want him to rest up before EWC, but not like in a serious way. So Li Xiao, he's him alongside Li Tuchuan and Ning Li are like the 3 most accomplished CM players of the past year and a half, 2 years, alongside a couple people like 60 and Ice. So those are like the CM players. A lot of people like don't really watch CN, so they just go off of like name recognition, like Juan Mei, but that dude has not really done anything for a long time. Li Xiao is like part of like the new group of CM players who've been doing really well. So he's probably the scariest player on paper. Form is always debatable, but they are playing on 14.7. The big thing about CN in the past few sets is that they basically complained that they had to play on patches that were too new. And so China is actually usually 1 patch behind. And so I feel like that's actually been part of the reason why they struggle a little bit globally, is because they're always playing behind. And they just had less time to like catch up and learn things compared to everyone. But this set is different. I think they're playing like much more on current patches. So I actually predict China to do a lot better this set. And then the second person is Xunge. Xunge is the set 7 champion, but that's not the reason why I think he's really interesting. I think what's really interesting is that this guy got blacklisted from China because he got reported for account sharing a set and a half ago. He actually had qualified for, I believe, set 12 regionals. He had flown in, did like the regionals media day, and then apparently got reported for account sharing. And his account sharing wasn't really that egregious, by the way. The patch had come out in North America. The patch was not out in China. So he went to like one of the official like account sharing platforms, borrowed some guy's account, and just played like 6 ranked games or something on North America, and then went back to China. He got reported for that, and then he got disqualified from regionals, sort of like retroactively deleted from like the history of China TFT. Like anytime they show a montage of historic moments, they like mosaic his face out, like they blur his face out. It's almost like he's just like become some kind of like giant, empty, mysterious man in CN TFT history.
I didn't know.
He's no longer invited to invitationals. He's no longer like part of any media stuff. When they did like the history of China stuff, he's not part of it at all. So he's sort of like their boogie. He's like their scapegoat. Like they basically said like, oh, look at us. We take competitive integrity seriously. We ban account sharing. You guys don't account share. Otherwise you'll be like this. They made him the example. And I think that's like completely unfair. And I really like feel bad for him. And he's a reasonably popular streamer. Like he does have a community. They got really offended for it. In fact, they got so mad on his behalf, they started a Twitter account where they reported every other Chinese player for like boosting, account sharing, win trading, so on and so forth. It's still there. They haven't deleted the post. But of course, you know, Tencent and Riot didn't act on it. Anyways, that's all a bunch of quick summary to say that I think Xunge, a lot of people are cheering for him because he almost represents sort of like the resistance to the authority, right? Like stick it to the man. So I want Xunge to do well, sort of like reclaim the throne that was lost. And he's not a bad player. He's actually a lot like Dehua. He like likes to play like pretty straightforward game plans and focus more on the execution of them. So sometimes it's like a huge first or like a giant flame out in 8th place. But he's a strong player if he has a good read. And then the third player is Shendu. Shendu is actually a really popular CN streamer. He's probably the second most popular streamer just like on his platform for TFT. And someone equivocated him to being like basically around like the soju of China. Like the actual soju. Like people said Hong Lian was, but he only is less popular than Shendu is. And so for him making Worlds is a good story because he kind of got hit with like the influencer label, right? A lot of people say like, oh, you can't do it, man. You're old, you're washed, you're an influencer, you're never gonna be good. Just like stick to grinding ladder. Whenever he got invited to competitions, he would do kind of like middling in the pack, not like super well. But he actually really locked in for this tournament. He's dominated a bunch of international scrims. Like literally for 4 days in a row, this guy like went second, first, or something like that. In, like,
log, right?
Yeah.
I just checked. I was gonna like ask you if you knew who that was. That guy's averaging like a 2.75 like every day.
Yeah. That's you got beat by the CN influencer. You got beat by CN. So yeah, like just saying.
Oh God. that guy is so good. Like
CNU jelly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So and China like had a like not a sold out arena, but they had a packed arena of live audience. They all were cheering for Shendu. Everyone was going crazy for him. Whenever he high rolled anything, he hit 0-2. Crowd lost it. It was just going nuts. So it was fun. And it might be like a big moment if he can win for China. It's kind of like everyone's cheering for him. So it's kind of like as if Soju made Worlds for NA.
Man, that's crazy. Yeah. I think China's the region that like at least I know the least about. We could tell you a bit about the EU. I mean, you probably know enough about the EU. We know the EU as well.
I think it's gonna talk about.
Yeah, I've been yapping too much. You guys talk.
Yeah, I think one thing we sent like the big 3 from NA. They showed Weijin Setsi. Like, I mean, I know people like looked at the NA lineup and they're like, this is like one of the most stacked lineups we've ever sent. Like to Worlds, right? Like we sent like I hate to say it, and as an honorary Brazilian from Sao Paulo, like we sent like the lowest amount of like people from Brazil and Latam. We just sent like 9 NA players or however it is.
8 NA
Like,
players, yeah.
like all of them are just like really, really like
Wait, you're from Sao Paulo?
No.
Honorarily he's from Sao Paulo.
I study with Valpa Casa, and I just go in his chat and just say I'm from Brazil. So yeah, people in Brazil. They need more reps anyway.
Okay, so you just lie. Got it. Okay.
No, it's honorary.
You didn't have to put it like that, but like,
yeah.
But yeah, so it's like I think it's like I don't know, it's like NA wants to prove like they're the best like region in the world, which is like kind of contested right now. I think like who's the best APAC. Like I know it's like I talk to some of my EU friends, they'll say EU, but like we said the best players, and then like I guess some people would say also Dehua, but players. Just make that clear. I don't
Are those people in the room with us right now, buddy?
They might be in the room with us right now.
They actually might be in the room with us.
To be clear,
the only people saying that might be in the room with us right now.
To be clear.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, I'm like really excited to see how like NA performs, and like especially how I think NA performs on LAN. I know that's something like people like that's a very different kind of switch up playing than honestly playing in the comfort of your own home, getting to have like stuff on the side. And now I know they're trying to crack down on that more. So I'm excited to see how NA does.
Dude, we're gonna suck. I'm just saying.
Dude,
we can't
tough,
look up
man.
Trait Tracker. We can't look up stats. Can't pull up TFT Academy. We have to keep our pants on. It's not looking good.
Well, we don't know if we have to keep the pants on, but
yeah.
I think we're the least accustomed to LAN. Oh yeah, Dank.
Oh yeah, no. Just randomly, I have a hot take I was thinking about.
What?
Okay.
What's up?
Okay, I think APAC is gonna really underperform.
What is that?
Oh, that's actually my take as well. I think they're the weakest region this.
No, okay. The reason why is because it was like I was watching APAC regionals from Title's POV this set, and I would just say I was not very impressed by Title, and I was even more unimpressed by the players he was playing, because every time he would fight someone, it would look like their board was like a NA Masters board, I think, in terms of power level during regionals. So
NA Masters.
I'm not gonna say like I mean obviously I actually know, but yeah, I would not be surprised if APAC does not do very well.
There was a game we were watching from Title's POV. He was playing Mundo reroll. He had to roll down to like 20 something gold to hit. It looks like he's super cooked. And then on 8 he hits Brand 2 in like 2 or 3 rolls. But he still needs to go 9 to actually get to 6 techie and make his board good. So we thought he was completely cooked. He's on like 30 HP. He just win streaks through all of stage 4 somehow because like someone is on Morgana 2 carry, and then there's like there's like other boards that just don't have anything 2-star, and it's like late stage 4, and then he just makes it a 9 no problem and wins out the game. Like from like that game, you can like, even if it's like relatively low gold, you know there's something suspicious going on how the boards are being navigated, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I think the weakest APAC player that I saw was Nguyen Vux, just doing weird stuff in final lobby, going so 8th every game. And I don't want to call people out individually, but just like no one was particularly impressive. The Japanese players have moments that they look pretty solid, but then like on average they're running it down. Dr. O sometimes looks brilliant, and then some like and he does like some crazy ass lines with reroll, and like he just loves reroll, but like, and then sometimes he just goes another just like guaranteed 8th, and it just feels like somehow the reason why they avoid 8th is because 3 players at the same time from APAC are all going 8th, and some of them has to go 6th, so they save placements there. It's crazy. Sometimes I just watch these lobbies where I'm just like wondering what the hell are these guys doing. But YBY is always good. What's actually interesting about YBY is that he also sometimes randomly gets on weird lines too. It's almost like he doesn't respect APAC, so he just feels like he could just like outskill them by doing some weird stuff, and then sometimes he just like flames out. I'm not sure how that ends up happening, because YBY actually doesn't exactly like win tournaments either in APAC either.
Yeah, there's a way you're supposed to play to ladder stomp that just isn't the same as tournament at all. Like there's like after playing regionals and going back to ladder, if you actually play the same you win every tournament like humbly, it just doesn't work. Because some guy has Vex 3, some guy is like 2 people are fast 9, and you just can't win late game. It's actually kind of sad. Mm-hmm. Or it's very different. And if you play or that way, you get really, really punished at Worlds, I think.
Even YBY1, I felt like the Chinese players in scrims were much more impressive than all the APAC players. Like like
two players get hype. I think Royal and Steppy are like people who feel like they're actually like just good players. I watched a decent amount of Royal on scrims just to like kind of get sense, and I see he plays a really good stage 2, like a really good stage 2 and stage 3 sometimes, and that's always some of the more impressive things to me in TFT because early games is like really hard, especially when it's strongest board and he finds ways to 5 streak. So just be on the lookout for that. And Steppy's pretty well documented of being a strong ladder player from Singapore, I believe.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know like Tristan at least studies with people in NA, so should be interesting. But I know he has like the weirdest.
Yeah, with like Rainplosion.
Well, I know he studied with Weijian, I think. Sorry if that's like a weird.
Oh, okay. I mean, he did. I'm saying in the past. I was in a group with him when he was studying with Rain.
Yeah, I mean, I know he's in like the lab. Like I remember he like DM'd me about like Morgana reroll tech, like when that first came out. But yeah, like he has like the weirdest scrim score. He has like a 40% eighth rate, and then his like AVP is still like a 4.6. So it's and it's like it's not like the win rate is like crazy either. So it's just like I don't know. I just like not terribly impressed with like just like playing against like it feels like you don't see this like I feel like in scrims you see the same names kind of go first like every other lobby, and I like to me that felt like it was like Weijian and then like a lot of EU players and then a lot of CN players, at least in my opinion. So yeah, I think you actually have to talk about EU and like because we studied with Elia, he's a top Korean player, and then we also study. I've been studying a lot with Solo Kasan, and like I think the level of prep that they do is on another level than NA. Just like it's like not even like remotely close. And then this is like not even taking into account that like the French people are just probably even doing more if you just look at the results and like the way they study. Like I just think like the roster that they sent this set is just like it's so stacked. Like they're sending all the top French players, I think. And then like they all play these crazy wacky lines during scrims, and they all like they're just playing Vygar reroll like on spots like I would never play Vygar reroll. Like they're playing these Nitro spots like where it's like I thought Nitro wasn't even that good, and like now I realize it's like quite playable. Honestly, if I had to guess, like I think like someone from EU is gonna win Worlds. Besides myself.
Yeah, we've been saying that for like 4 sets now, man. Here, you want to know the secret here? You want to know the unfortunate truth? EU's been sending better lineups than NA for like 2 years.
Yeah, for a while now.
for 2.5 years, and yet North America still wins. I'm just presenting the facts, man. It's crazy. So my prediction is EU does well, but NA wins anyways.
Yeah, I mean, I remember like at the beginning of TFT, like early sets, like 5, 6, 7, 8. Like Natures would always put out the AVP, and it's like EU's like always the worst AVP, and then like you look at like the past 3 sets, like they're like 1 or 2 with APAC, I think, from what I understand. I don't know. It's just like they're doing things in prep that like I didn't even think you can even possibly do. Like it's like obviously like now that you tell me it's like super obvious, but it's like one thing they would do is they would just go into custom games. You just replay your stage 1 to stage 2 or 2-1, and you just do it 10 times, and then VOD every single like thing that you would do, like what units you would hold, stuff like that. And like that's something I think like our study group going into regionals, like that really like improved their play, because if you don't lose on 2-1 automatically, you're doing pretty good, I think, for yourself.
Yeah, that stuff. So I'm surprised you say that North American doesn't do that though, because we definitely do. That's actually like something I think Soju popularized specifically.
Oh really? Okay, maybe.
Does he do it for solos? Be honest. Obviously, for 4v4 is actually super cute. Does it for solos?
He actually does it on stream before tournaments.
Okay. But like I just remember like we're in a call. It's like Elias, Skipeas, like.
It was mind blowing to us. Let's say that we'd never done that before because we're relatively.
And like I'm just sitting there like they're just like apparently like I sell one unit and it's like the biggest misplay of all time, and like I'm just like losing the whole game of it, and then you just realize they're right, and it's like, all right.
I'm not saying that they copied. I'm just saying that it's definitely been a thing. So it's good that you are aware of that, because that's important to do.
That's the
sure.
Real tech.
Yeah. I think the 2 big people to like look out for, I think, in the EU are Lococo and Experion. Like I've been very impressed by their play.
Experion.
He's a known pinger, man.
Everyone hates that guy. Oh my god, this guy just goes on your board. You beat him one fight, 17
He
pings on your
tilts
board.
so hard. This
Holy
guy has
shit.
the worst mental of all the EU players.
But from what I understand, it was worse a couple sets ago.
It was
and then,
worse.
like,
Was it?
now,
Okay.
Yeah, and then now he's like, it's like he's still pinging, but like he's still doing well now. Like before he would like tilt off, like the,
Yeah, him and Padebo are the big pingers.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think this is the best lineup France can send. They don't have double 61 here. They don't have Jedisaur here, but they definitely
they
have
got
some
Volta.
good players.
Yeah,
For sure.
Jedisaur.
I agree, but I don't think Double was like the best French player going into his regionals from the stuff I've seen. And like,
I
think,
you think he is the best?
okay, obviously he's the GOAT of EU, but I don't think he was like.
He wasn't in the best
Yeah,
form.
yeah.
He wasn't in the best form.
I think that's not. I don't think that's even a cool take or a hot take anymore. I think that's like most people would peg Coco as the best French player for the past year.
Yeah. So.
And then Jedisaur maybe number 2.
Like I think Ben Sack is like really good as well.
Yeah.
And I mean that no disrespect to the KC fans. Yeah, just please don't send me DMs.
He's gonna get DMs, man.
Bro, no one's sending you DMs.
Okay,
You don't even know you have a Twitter account.
I was
Relax.
told if you hate on KC, they find out where you live. But
That's only if you're in
It's
France.
Sao Paulo. Don't worry. You already
It's
told
Sao
them where
Paulo.
you're at.
yeah. The problem is I don't do a good job of hiding myself on the internet, so like we gotta be really careful.
There's a guy on Ladder whose username is like KC like NO3 or something like that. Is that guy like a KC fan
I have
or is he
no
like
idea.
a French player?
He's a fan. Okay, because I played against him in 44. I think he's from like Quebec, and like so he just.
Oh,
okay, got it.
Yeah, and he's just like a big fan. Like I think I saw his posts. Like I did good in cup, like in like one of the KC comms and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Pretty cool. I think he enjoys listening. Yeah.
No love for the Turkish guy, Clyde Cornin. Everyone's
Corn?
sleeping on
But
him.
he-
Everyone
he
thinks
did pretty
Turkish
well.
players are frauds.
I actually.
I'm
DM'd
actually
him.
curious. Dankmemes, you played against Turkish players at Worlds.
Turkish players.
What do you think Turkey as a region is underestimated, or do you think people appropriately rate them?
Oh, honestly, I mean, I think like there was also self.
I actually DM'd that guy before, like the whole like 2 weeks. So I was like, "Do you want to VOD with someone?" Because like
It's not studying with the French, right? Like we have all
like this,
EU's
like-
refugees.
like cause I got told like by my EU friends like he's not studying with anyone. Like there's no other Turkish players at Worlds very clearly, right? And then I DM him. He's like, my English isn't good, so like I didn't go from there. But yeah, it's just yeah, it was that guy. I think unfortunately might be in a worse spot than me in terms of like study group, from what I understand.
Yeah. No one else qualified with him, and he doesn't speak any language with anyone. So
Dang, did you solo prep
Yeah.
for Worlds each time?
GG's.
The first time I did, I think, and then the second was Elia invited me to his group, and I talked to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, honestly, I didn't even realize how much of a disadvantage I was at like, while like going into both worlds, because like I never did any of the like 2-1 practice or like hard in-depth like stats. Like all I do is just like go to Tata Tools and like read the fucking
Read the stats.
for a bit before the tournament. So yeah, honestly, I have no idea how I even made it to worlds.
I mean, Disho doesn't practice with the group, and I don't think he particularly does a lot of what most people saying like what you need to start doing. So don't feel like you have to.
He's for sure the
For
best
what it's
solo
worth.
prepper in the whole world, man.
There's like I think there's like 3 players in NA that can actually like solo prep. Honestly, 2. It's like Setsi and Dishop. I don't think there's other players who actually like. I think it's very hard to like be consistently good solo prepping, just because like you're not that smart, you're not that motivated, or it's like
You just can't
don't
get
have
that
the
much
time.
information. Like if
Yeah.
you have 7 French players all collecting information, testing out stuff in scrims, like looking up stats and like thinking about the game, like it's just hard to top that. I think working as a big
I
team.
agree.
So they're actually I think they're split into 2 study groups, and I don't think they study.
Yes, I think so. That's from what I understand.
And then there's just Volta, who I don't think studies with either group.
Yeah. Man.
All right,
Robin preps with chat.
Robin is a
That's
beast for prepping
basically
with chat.
solo prep.
That is actually solo.
It's pretty impressive if you think about it.
I mean, I heard he got
Yeah, I
some
know Dank
pointers from
probably-
Dank memes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'll be honest, I look at the AM gameplay sometimes, a little suspicious at times. That comp is not playable anymore though. From below it.
Yeah. Here we can take a quick peek at the next slide of all the people who are returning to Worlds. It's actually only 4 returning players, or 5 returning players from the last Worlds. Everyone else is new. I I didn't realize it cycled so frequently. Like from one Worlds to the next, it's actually pretty rare to have the same person go twice.
Yeah, which is why it's very impressive because no one has ever made it to 5 Worlds in a row.
Except for Mr. Dish.
Until now.
He's got 5 Worlds in a row. I mean, he's just got everything that you need to be able to make it back to Worlds. I mean, he's really good at ladder. He's really in form for like regionals when it really matters. And then the set after you win Worlds, you just go back for free.
Yeah, you just go back to Worlds. Yeah. You know? Like, yeah. But if I'm
sadly, if you were to follow the cyclical pattern, Deersoap is probably going to finish in the 20s.
I didn't want to say it, but
I mean, his motivation is pretty down. I mean, I think at this point it's pretty well documented that, and like public information that Deersoap doesn't like the set. I think the set has a very meaningful amount of volatility, and that just ranges anything from the bullshit hacks to the resource inflation to just general shenanigans of TFT. And then I don't think he just vibes with it either. And I think that really impact, like, I think it's like a really subtle thing, but like it's a very important thing. Not enjoying this TFT set really nerfs your ability to prep hard. It means that it doesn't mean you can't get into form, but it sort of like nerfs your ceiling, because it feels like you just can't ever really truly get into it and click with the set in a meaningful way.
I mean, I'll be honest, like that's why kind of at the time, like it's very well documented about, he's talked about how much he actually like hates the set. And also like when you win as much as he does, there's like a very small off season, right? If you're willing to sack PB, like I don't know.
He also played in every tournament possible. His 100 Thieves played the most EWC games possible. They played the open qualifier and they qualified through. Then they played the closed qualifier where they barely missed, and then they played LCQ where they got 4th when the top 3 teams advanced, and all those games like went to the series. So it's just like a lot. And then he also flew out to my event, the double up Digi Duo.
The double up Digi Duos, yeah.
So he literally did like everything, right? Like, so he's like maxed out. We sort of like told him not to worry too much about TFT Academy this set because he's had so much to do. And then Soju's DMing, harassing him to watch the NBA playoffs with him every night. He's being like, listen, man, fuck Lou Dort. Come watch, Halliburton he's about to drop another nuke. And so he's just getting harassed. There's just so many people that want things from him in every direction. So this set he hasn't had a chance to rest at all.
I mean, it's like, especially if you're playing like 4 sets in a row, there really just is not a break if you're playing every cup. I mean, he's not playing trials, but still, like, you're still prepping, you're still like consuming TFT content like 90% of those times. So it's just, I don't know how he does it. Like, it just seems like very, very exhausting from like my point of view. I guess that's what it takes to be good, though.
Theoretically, this is what Tier 1 is supposed to solve next set. Snapshot reduction in requirements means that you should have more time and less pressure to feel like you have to maintain.
Yes, because you have to prep the snapshot patch, and then if you're like if you don't have Giga Edge, you actually have to play like 80 games at the minimum to make the snapshot, at least. If you have Giga Edge, you can make it much quicker. But like, I think for me, this set 3 or Cup 3 I was easily in. I also qualified through Cup 2, but Cup 3 I was easily win just because I was good on the patch. That was the same in Cup 2, but Cup 1, you just have to sit there like 3 or 4 days in a row and play the entire day to be able to make it in. Otherwise, your expected value to go in just like isn't very good. And like Peter and Artix from our study group and Shunnington actually like just played so many games, and then like sometimes you don't even make it in. It's a rough time, man.
Yeah, they played 200 games and I think lost LP.
Going to Cup 3. It's rough,
I don't know. Like, I'm so glad I don't have to play for snaps. Every time I play for snaps, it's just like the most, like people are just like, they look at me after because I just spent like 2 to 3 days stuck in my PC room just playing 50 games in like 3 days. And like, I don't know, somehow I made it both times.
Yeah, Dehua, you dropped a nuke on the first one. The second one you played trials, and the third one you were in the blender.
Oh my god. I just remember, like, dude, I was just dodging Broseph every game.
Bro, I was like sniping him in the beginning.
Playing with nothing to lose, I just started protesting because this guy would actually just open on me, and then the whole game plan's finished. So, but I'm excited for Tier 1. I think, like you said, hopefully it does solve a lot of the different problems people are facing.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear about the
theoretically should. My guess, and this is I mean, I probably shouldn't share too much about it, but they actually really debated when they were first proposing this tournament structure of whether or not they want to start in set 14. And they said they wanted to delay to set 15 because it would meant that set 13 was a qualifier, and with Macau Open, it would have been 2 cups. It would have just been a clown fiesta. They really want to do set 15. They want to do the pro circuit correctly. There's a lot of stakeholders in this. It's a really big deal. People might be thinking, oh, it's just like another competitive season of TFT. I would say that TFT is now officially part of Riot's long-term future plans, not just like in theory. In practice, it is. They have millions of dollars, way more invested in this. They're putting way more resources. And so now TFT actually kind of has to deliver. Before, we didn't really have the pressure of like, because it was like a passion project, right? It would just be like, we invest in TFT competitive because people want it. If people show up and watch it, cool. But right now, if we were to be very, very honest with ourselves, TFT is not a justifiable expense because it's not really a competitive esport product that is like very popular. And with this pro circuit, it's really, this is not a topic on your slide, but it's actually kind of like a really important moment for our scene because now we sort of have a spotlight of which we need to actually step up. So it's like, we kind of need everyone to take this seriously. I kind of implore people who are listening, because there's a lot of competitive players in chat right now. If you guys treat it as some clown fiesta as we did in like a Tactician's Cup, and you guys want to treat it like Mickey Mouse and parking lot stuff, I guess you could. But the reality is, if we discourage people from caring and we like don't have us show up, there's a very real chance that Riot just takes it away because they're just like, yeah, okay, well, we tried, and you guys just want to make it just one giant shit show. And so, yeah, like that's it. And so, and I'm not trying to like scold people for acting a certain way. I just want to let people know what's at stake, because now viewership matters, engagement matters, clout matters. That's what Riot cares about. Why do they do all this stuff? They lose tens of millions of dollars a year on Riot League Legends, and they lose a ton of money on Valorant. But they care about TFT, and they want it to be a big part of their like esports vehicle moving forward. It's a really important thing for them to actually get something back. Before, it kind of didn't really matter. They would just like throw it up and just be like, yeah, well, you know, we were like a trust fund baby in the past. Like, Riot's doing so well, TFT's doing well. Here's a couple of bones. Just like, don't get yourself too much in trouble. Here's your allowance. Now they're like bringing us to the boardroom and saying like, you can sit with us, but we have to kind of step up as well. So I hope that people take that a little bit more seriously. I hope that they understand that there's more at stake with this, because they want TFT to level up. I think we all do. In the end, we all meme TFT because we care about it, also because we don't take ourselves super seriously. But I hope that like this approach to the pro circuit goes well, because I think they're trying really hard. And the reason why I say all this is because it's all a caveat. It's all a setup to, I think there's going to be a lot of pain points in the first season. I think there's going to be like mistakes that Riot makes. I think there's going to be like silly stuff. We're going to talk about an incident coming up soon about like a referee botching a call on the China regionals, which is just unacceptable. And yes, we should properly hold their feet to the fire for that. But I do think that there's going to be some drama in the first season of the pro circuit. It just will, because it's always the first time. So I also hope it goes well. I think the pro circuit has huge stakes on the line for TFT in the future. But my God, I hope that we can get it right as much as possible, because it's really important.
I mean, you've seen a whole pro circuit come and go in Hearthstone, right?
Yeah. It's almost actually exactly the same thing. Hearthstone Grandmasters was the beginning and the end of Hearthstone because it couldn't really succeed. But that's not necessarily because the program was bad. It's because Blizzard, I mean, I don't know if you want the full version of it, but they basically sold Hearthstone out straight up. The quickest summary that I can give, if you're not familiar with Hearthstone Grandmasters, it was basically a closed pro circuit. Same structure, Americas, Europe, APAC, and China. And you compete in a season, and that qualified you for playoffs, and that ultimately fed you into the World Championship. The problem is that circuit was really hard to break into, very, very hard to break into. And then, so that did kill a little bit of like the open circuit, but they still had the open circuit. But what was the big dagger was that Blizzard actually sold the broadcast rights from Twitch to YouTube. But they specifically tossed in Hearthstone as a negotiation, like kind of like draft picks or cash considerations for like a sports. for like 2 sports teams. They like threw it as like a sweetener deal because they were really trying to go for the big kahuna, which was Overwatch League, because the Overwatch League moved to YouTube. And so they sold us to YouTube, which would have been fine had we actually benefited from any of the windfall, right? If they just said like, hey, look, we have more money so we can invest it into the scene and do more with it, or even pay you guys more. Like, okay, you can't cash this out, right? At least like give us like none of that. They actually cut back more and more and more. They reduced the number of events. It went from LAN to online, and then it went from online to bedroom broadcast. They asked us to take pay cuts. It was just like over and over and over, and it was bad. So as long as you don't do something like that, I think we won't be like Hearthstone.
Man, sure hope not.
I will say Riot is like very protective of their own IP, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Hopefully that never happens. But yeah, I don't know. I took like a couple things away from that. 1, we have to invite K3 Soju to the Pro League. 2, we need China to win Worlds.
Yes, we actually need China to win Worlds again.
3, we actually need more rage baiters and dramas. Because all I'm saying is my tweets actually did hella good for impressions. So
it's good for the pro circuit. Man.
He's right, actually. I didn't think I was gonna say that tonight, but he's right.
So,
he's right. Yeah, yeah, and we have to be like okay. Well, I mean, when we say drama, we're not saying like getting banned drama.
Yeah,
we're talking about opinions, personalities. Feel free to be yourself. I want to compliment you, Dehua, for being brave enough to come on the interview and kind of bear your feelings about things very honestly. I think it's a lot of people were like, oh my god, he's like crying on stream, I'm so uncomfortable, emotions, how do I listen to this? But I think that's really important. People really want to see the person behind the screen, right? China's trying to do that. They actually do something kind of extreme. They attach heart rate monitors to the players, so that way that you can see their spike of anxiety and stress. A guy's doing a roll down and he's at 140, 150 heart rate. People want to see that. They want to see the amplified emotions and the stakes.
They want to see Ashma Vegas. That's what they want to see.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just saying, hey, K3 Soju cried. I cried. I feel like I'm in good company. So,
K3 Soju cried for milk.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I get choked up when talking about Broseph sometimes. Like, the progress he's made. So, I don't know. I mean, it's just good to show emotion. Like, I think everyone here, like, if you're watching this stream, I'll be honest, you're kind of a sicko. Like, MSI is going on right now. Like, you just like love the game.
Sorry,
so
we
much
couldn't find a
that,
better
like,
time. Yeah.
Yeah, you just like love the game so much that like that you kind of want to be in the community and you kind of like want to do good things. So, like, I think it's good to kind of express that and show other people that you're also like one of them, that you care. So. Yeah. Sorry,
don't worry. Apparently, MSI is paused. We got time.
It's paused. Excellent.
Okay, let's go.
All right.
Yeah.
Dehua added this segment to get a little bit of free juice.
Yes, because dank memes actually helped me like a lot the first time. So I was wondering, you got any words of advice for me?
Are you flying out tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm flying out tomorrow morning. I think my flight's at 11, so I'm having my homie pick me. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play 2 scrims in the morning, and then my friend's gonna pick me up. I'm gonna go to the airport, and then I don't know, see from there. Because I'm actually like I'm not sure what's actually happening. The whole world's thing. So, yeah.
I don't either.
He's gonna show up.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, think of a pose now. They're gonna take a player photo. Think of a pose.
I saw someone. Maybe I do like the.
Please don't just fold your hands or do a thumbs up.
No.
Just do
I'm thinking you rock some of them Indonesian boat poses. If anyone actually knows what I'm talking about there.
Oh, you're gonna do the spanking? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I like it. It's
yeah.
not
Here
bad.
we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
okay.
I'm excited. Like, I know, like, I was talking to Solo, and he's like, I hate, like, all the extra stuff, but, like, dude, I love the extra stuff. Like, it just makes it, like fun and kind of like an event, right? Like, that you're kind of, like, hopefully can remember, like, I can look fondly upon it about it in, like, 10 years. But, yeah, I was wondering, Dank, do you have, like, any, like roles advice? Because, like, I mean, hey, you went there twice, right? Honestly, you didn't do that bad. Like, because, like, I'll be honest, I'm not trying to get day 1. I'm not trying to, no flip to Darth, but I'm not trying to pull a Darth Noob. So, yeah.
Yeah, I would just say, yeah, have fun out there. I mean, honestly, the thing is, like, the biggest thing I learned after playing at Worlds is just, like, the way I perform is just so different from, like, how scrims are going. Because every time, like, both Worlds I went to, I was dropping the nuke in scrims. I think, like, it was like 6 game scrim block before, like, every day before Worlds, and I think my average points in 6 games was like 35, and then I showed up to Worlds. Yeah, 8, another 8 in there somewhere. It's over for me. But yeah, I don't know. I think like when everyone's playing at such a high level, you can't really expect to like win the game, right? Unless you like truly have like a giga read. So for me, I just say like if I was telling myself, if I was giving myself advice at Worlds last set, I would just say like, have fun, don't get too tilted. Every game is winnable. Yep.
Yeah. Actually, one thing I'm hoping is that like, I don't know, like the person sitting to left and right of me in Dallas is just more nervous than I am, and like I could just like listen to like the songs and like the LeBron James montage I watched before the game and just like kind of calm down and like lock in. So
I mean, it's just 8 of you, right? Vapa Casa isn't going.
Yeah, Vapa Casa's not going.
Just NA and Tech Summers, I guess.
Yeah. Oh wait, he's not.
You couldn't get a visa.
Yeah, I've been studying with him and he just couldn't get his visa in time.
Okay, so he has to stay home.
Yeah, it's actually a shame because like he's also the only BR rep, so like I know like.
Damn. That sucks because I think Brazil play some Brazil co-streamers are coming, so that's awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know. I just like hope like to trust the prep that like me and Solo and like the people we study with this week kind of did. Yeah. And just like I don't know, listen to 6 hours of clarity. So yeah.
You didn't ask me for advice, but take it one game at a time.
Yeah.
A lot of people get caught up in like I went 6th or 7th my first 2 games. There's 12 games. This is what I need to get to the final lobby. Just don't even worry about that. One game at a time. Focus on what you can do now. Be very present-minded.
I went 7-7, and I did.
That is true.
He was first 2 games 7-7, man.
Oh my god! I opened. I mean, I said this before. I opened chat. I think dankmemes in there also 7-7.
Dream Tunnel player. How the fuck?
You know, just all these game watchers, man. But like, you just gotta like, I don't know, just like believe in yourself. And I think it helped that like I didn't think I like blundered those games at all. So just don't like be your worst enemy. I think is what I'm just gonna hopefully go and do.
Yeah.
Good words of advice. All right. As the podcast name would imply, I saw this on Twitter. We actually must talk about this at least briefly. So if you're not familiar, in the TOC regional finals, which is like basically just regionals for China, player YGQF found that his client was capped at 60 FPS while others were capped at 240. So there's a video of this, but basically he asked the ref for a timeout. They pause the game. The admin gets onto his computer and just presses the D key. And if you don't know this about Turning Realm for this set, like you can sell, you can roll, you can do a bunch of stuff while the game is paused. So the shop just gets rolled. He misses Cog 2 and loses 2 gold and like 2-1, and then his game is finished. He asks for a remake, and then he just doesn't get a remake because the guy with sponging on 4-5 realized he was only getting 2 items, and then they didn't remake that game, so they can't remake this game. Was what happened.
It's just.
Wait. Wasn't it they remake that game and then the other players complained about that they did?
Oh, was it?
No. Specifically, he requested a remake, and then they asked the players what they wanted. And of course, every player in the lobby's like, "No, this guy is 8th. That's +1 plays. Why would we want a remake for this guy? Fuck him."
Yeah.
So they're just like, yeah, GG's.
Thankfully, that guy made it out right today in LCQ. But I actually have a friend who was there in Chengdu who's apparently friends with this guy, and he said like, and I was like talking to him, I'm like, because if this happened to me, I wouldn't want to like play the game. Like I would, like
he would protest the game.
Something like no, I would genuinely protest. But apparently, like he didn't want to get mad because he was like already in the next TOC for next set, I guess.
He's also in this LCQ, and also
like
I said, Shunga was made an example. So it's like
you don't want to.
You try to start any uprising, they already showed what they're willing to do. So you have to be careful about what you say.
Yeah,
China's afraid to speak out at all.
Yeah, which I don't know. I just like it was also like 4 Vanguard. Like his spot was so good if they just don't press D. But I don't know. I just think it's like they're just comparing like apples and oranges. Like, oh, because we didn't remake on like a 4-6 sponging game, like we can't remake on stage 2. I think that's just honestly plainly ridiculous. Like that's not something that should be acceptable, honestly, in a competitive game.
I talked about it on my stream earlier today, but I think that one thing that TFT tournament admins consistently get wrong is they feel like they have to make one broad policy that applies to every TFT game ever, when in reality, TFT is like far more nuanced of a complex game. Yep. They need to give themselves the jurisdictive leeway, if that's not a word. They need to give themselves the ability to actually interpret things on a case-by-case basis and be able to make a call based off of what happens. And they need someone to own up to it as well, because I don't know, maybe they need to establish some kind of committee or something that can make a call in those kinds of situations. But the reality is they keep saying like, well, this is like our policy. And this actually applied a lot to other things too, in Americas and APAC and Europe and stuff like that. And they keep finding themselves in trouble. They keep trying to find this like this silver bullet type of like approach, and they just get themselves into messes nonstop. So my advice to anyone, I don't even think anyone from Riot Esports is here, but if you do, you guys got to stop doing this to yourself. You're only putting yourselves in immensely difficult headaches, and it just always feels like the coin lands on the opposite side.
I just think you could get like 4 people, like 1 person from each region. You just be like,
you are the council.
Like, I think like you could get like 5 high elo players. They would all instantly agree. Like this game should be instantly
that's a remake.
remade. Like
that's a remake, man.
Like it's just so clear, right? Like it didn't instantly remake.
Yes,
like
it's
an embarrassing win trading. like you don't. Like, these are not hard decisions, and like I don't know. Like I don't think it's like we have to be like U.S. law, right? Where you have to follow everything kind of to a T, to like a certain point. Like you can make discretionary calls. Like people accept it if the decision is like kind of correct or like explainable.
Yeah, like sponging bugs, like that, like probably not. They're already on 4 or 5. Bro, if the ref rolls on 2-2, like that's surely not the player's fault, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then,
but I will say, like, I do hope they fix some of these bugs. Not to be too salty or anything, but
yeah,
I do think like if people's competitive careers are like online, like I do hope one day we're not getting like
they are literally hiring for that position for what it's worth. Right, put out a job listing.
Yeah, for QA testing.
Listen, man, if Worlds doesn't work out for you, Dehua, you know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, I am in
computer You're pretty good at discovering bugs.
maybe you're too good, unfortunately.
All right, too soon.
I'd say that. But yeah, I just think I will say it is funny because like I feel like there are some sets that are just so much buggier than the others, and this might be one of them. So.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just really happy that this guy actually made it to Worlds, and like, I don't know, like I just feel like it'd be so bad. Like it's not even like the game's bug. It's just like some ref just decides to not alt tab, instead decide to do Windows D, and you just lose a reroll. Like it's just so crazy. like that.
Oh, that probably is what happened.
That's why you gotta. Okay, actually, isn't that the real tech? You like unbind your hotkey so that they don't accidentally do stupid stuff.
No, we might click it anyways because they think it will work.
I didn't even realize you could roll during pauses. I didn't even know that was possible.
No, I didn't know
like.
Oh, I knew you could sell units. It was in the rulebook. They put in the rulebook. You're not supposed to abuse like selling units or any actions that are done during the pause menu.
I didn't read the rulebook. I'll be honest.
I mean, I always read the list of bugs.
Fast and you just like roll 15 times. Who's gonna know, man? Who's gonna know?
I think you can't buy units, but you could roll. Yeah, you could roll.
No, didn't he? I thought he bought. Okay, maybe.
I thought you couldn't buy units, but maybe.
Okay, but still, you could roll.
Yeah,
you can roll.
You can roll.
You just pause. You
just roll until you see like Urgot. You just roll until you see.
Yeah, you just roll until you see the Urgot or the Zac immediately, and then
All right. So we're gonna do a quick regions tier list into pretty close to the end of the stream, or yeah, we'll cut some stuff. But regions tier list. This on the top right it's a little bit small. Is how the regions did at the previous Tactician's Crown. You got Americas on top. Let's go. And then you got EMEA, and then CN, and then APAC. Do you feel like the same kind of vibe this time around, or what?
So I would say that this is basically like the region that's likelihood to score points.
Yeah, like this is the AVP. Or
I would say EU 1, CN 2, Americas 3, APAC 4.
That's crazy.
But America still wins Worlds. Just putting it out there.
It would just be such an America's classic, I think, for that to happen.
A lot of
Set 11 Set 11, we went like dead last. Yes. It was like 4.8 AVP. It was terrible. I think we had like 5 players in the bottom 8. and then Dishop's the only person in the final lobby, and then he just wins it. I'm just getting that vibe again. I don't know if it's Dishop. Maybe who knows? Maybe it's Dehua. But like it feels like it's gonna happen again.
If it's not me, I do feel Wei Shin is due. That guy's so good. So
he's due for a good world. I think the last one was a few.
No, he is. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna put America's 1 because we do have the best player in the world, and that's me. And then probably EU2, CN3, APAC. Honestly, it's just the same list as last set. So
Bro's just reading.
I'm inclined to believe.
Wait, what do you mean Wei Shin is due? By the way, he got 3rd at Worlds in set 9.
Yeah, but like, I'll be honest. I talk about this with my EU friends all the time. Like, no one cares that double went 2nd. If you don't win it in the end of the day, the streets don't remember you. All right. So that's why Dishop's our GOAT. And that's why title 2nd does not matter in that conversation.
YBY is double 3rd as well. Like his past 2 worlds, he went 3rd place both times. Yeah. They're all gunning for it this regionals. All right. Oh yeah, this happened too. Remember back in set 5?
You don't care about Dank Memes ranking?
Oh, Dank Memes.
Oh yeah, crickets.
Do you think CN is good? Or NA?
Okay, I mean, like, the thing is, I have super respect. I have an insane respect for the players because every time I played at World Scrims, it's just like Frodan said earlier, they just show up on the first day of scrims after the regionals when they're like getting used to the new patch. They just play like the worst lines of all time and just go guaranteed 8 every single game, and then somehow they just show up their Worlds after like 5 days of playing on the patch and like do really well. So honestly, I'm not against China. I'm China number 1.
Well, it's probably not even 5 days. They have to do media day in their land
plus
place.
Credit score.
Like it's not even 5 days, man. It's actually insane.
Yeah.
Because like this is the first time we're feeling the effects of like Dehua, you're down what? You're down 2 days of prep, right? You're down Wednesday and Thursday, right?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could play it like tomorrow because like the thing is open, but like it's not like scrims are running past like 3 p.m.
Yeah,
yeah. EST. So
tough.
Yeah, and it's like it's also been rough because like my study partner is in Taiwan, so it's like some really suspicious timing. But yeah.
All right.
Where are you flying me from? Where's home?
Philly.
Okay.
Not too bad. 3 hours. So.
This is another thing that happened today. Basically, Li Chuan could have made Worlds, but he alleged. Okay, so what happened is they ran the same terrible checkmate format in this. Basically, the terrible format is checkmate, first place goes to Worlds, but second place also goes through. So there's like there's a bunch of possible spots, and I think this happened with Spencer in like set 5, where basically you're supposed to throw the match if you want to guarantee go to Worlds or guarantee go to Regionals, one of those things. So if you look here, I think Li Chuan had like easily the most points, and he just needed to, or second most, he just needed to let YGQF win the game, and then he would basically be through to Worlds. But unfortunately, I was told that he did not know the number of points well enough to be cognizant enough to do that play.
I think a lot of people are judging like he should have done this, but the reality is it's really easy to do that if you're at home and you have a second monitor and you can pull up the score sheet during carousel.
Yeah, they're at LAN. They're at LAN.
Yeah, they're at LAN. He can't do that, and he's so busy thinking. He was playing like a tricky spot as well, so he needed to like focus on that. He probably like thought like that's a possibility, but if it's a possibility and you throw and you're wrong, that's also even worse. So.
Do we know if it was punishable? Like, is he allowed to throw?
I was told he was allowed to throw. Like the players were saying they were allowed to throw.
I'm sure you could, and there's even ways that you can make it even very subtle, which is
just like swap your items off the LDP unit.
Wrong.
Oh yeah.
I've seen Dank Memes reforge, so maybe he can do the same thing.
Wow.
Okay, but
yeah,
on like, because I remember at Vegas, this was actually relevant because it was kind of useful to know what placement you needed to advance the next round. So I know like me and Max were like writing down the scores of everyone in the lobby.
I had a notebook.
You needed to know the scores of everyone in your lobby to see what you needed to place and like who you're supposed to grief, because you just need to outplace one guy a lot of the time in order to make it to the next lobby. So it actually becomes really relevant in spots like this. And I think there was some tactical griefing in the French regionals too, or not the French, the EU regionals. Like people were griefing specifically the people, because it was like top 6 make it out. So they were griefing people who were in lower placements to make sure they would make it through. And I don't know, that kind of stuff, I don't know if that stuff is supposed to be allowed, actually.
It's just suspicious because they're all French. Like it's, but yeah. I mean,
wait, Dan, do you know if that's supposed to be allowed? Like, you need to outplace one guy.
It is allowed, and I think it's supposed to be allowed, but it's like a pretty ugly side of TFT.
It's really bad, right? Like, you're just last, and then the other players are keeping you down because they need you to last.
Yeah, but that's but the again, right, with the broad rules, but I believe that the thing that they set forth is you have to do your best to help yourself maximize
placement, right?
Your best chances to win / succeed. And so technically doing that is performing well. Yeah. Take that with what you will.
All right, cool. We're a little bit short on time, but Dehua brought this up as a segment, and we actually wanted to really talk about it.
So we don't have to.
Oh yeah.
We can honestly do it a different time. But like, I know I was talking to Frodan earlier. It's like, how do you actually get better at TFT?
Because we have gone like us three, like me, Dehua, and even Dang, it's got a lot better, over like the past 3 sets. Like much better. And
yeah, I think especially for me and Broseph, it was like this set we took like leaps that like a lot of people didn't expect. I remember talking to Broseph, he was like, yeah, I had you at like a 0.1 chance to make regionals like before the set. So, and I'm like at Worlds now. So like something must have went right this set. But I yeah.
What's important is follow through. A lot of people have great like individual sets, but then we don't hear from them ever again. So obviously go out there and party and have fun. And once you're done with that, focus on following through, because no one wants to be a one-set wonder.
Yeah, I mean, we're back for tier 1 and tier 2.
It a little easier because you're already in like the best tournaments. So, yeah. Gotta
do well. All right, we can go into the next week.
The next slide, just like, I don't know, I like low key. I like fostering the next talent in NA. Like we always made the joke that like we're the future of NA, but like now I told the group like we're the present of NA. You know, like we're in tier 1. So I just want to like, I don't even know if Frodan or Dank even knows some people. Like they just want to like that guy. You better watch out for next set. So
there's one more.
You guys still are the future. I mean, buddy, you haven't played your single first world championship game. You need to prove, like I just told you, you need to prove yourself multiple sets. I don't think you're truly good unless you show that you are successful on multiple patches over multiple sets over multiple years. I think it took a long time for people to even accept our world champion is good. Replay won the world championship and people doubted him, man.
Yeah,
he like literally won. So you could literally win worlds and people are still gonna call you a fraud, and that's gonna be frustrating for you because you could win world. You could go 1-1-1-1-1-1-1-1 this world championship, and it's still gonna rank you like 5th at best in NA.
Yeah, they might put you 26. That would be really terrible.
They might put me 26.
And sure, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you have to believe in yourself as the future, man. You're not even the present.
Oh, I believe in myself. Do not worry. Nobody has more faith in me.
You might believe in yourself too much. Just a little bit too much.
Yeah. But yeah, I just thought it was nice because like I've been talking to some players who like, I mean, it's kind of weird because I just also started getting good this set. But, like there's like people who are just like kind of really just getting started, like this is their first set competing, and it's like that. It's like you gotta brand them. You have to like call out your shot, like that's the future, like before they're actually like looking good. So yeah, shout out. I think the slice down guy, that guy might actually be the future of NA.
I appreciate what you're trying to do. You're trying to pay it forward and highlight people who also do well.
Yeah. So I don't know. That guy won a sub-regional or like top forward. Honestly, like I'm pretty sure his group, like they're actually studying. So I can see it like him making actually like regionals like in a set or two. So but yeah, you heard it here first.
I mean so you can do that. You can also have I mean in reality, people a lot of times I'm a big believer that talent reveals itself pretty early and you see like flashes of brilliance. And you see people kind of either not really capitalize off that or people who are able to like I think someone like Disso, for example, was really impressive even early on. But he also kind of came seemingly out of nowhere. And same thing with Wajan Iverson, because Wajan Iverson I think took set 7. Like I think he started around
set 8,
like the mid set of 7. And then climbed really high, and then he qualified for LCQ, and then set 8 he just basically was rank 1. So like the future is like it could literally be anybody right now watching in chat who hasn't even ever really tried to apply themselves, or somebody we've never heard of that's like a 16-year-old that like finds out about TFT through Soju stream, like in the next 3 months, and just like, you know what, I'm gonna try it. And then they also, I mean, dankmemes also kind of had sort of like he'd been competing for a while, but like he finally took TFT seriously, and then like what happened? He qualified for 2 worlds. Finally missed 1 set. People make jokes about him being washed, but I mean, he's also part of that conversation as well. I think people show their potential really early, so I would encourage a lot of people to give it a try as well. Who knows? The future could be anybody. That's what makes it exciting. True. That's what makes it really fun to watch. It
can be anyone in chat as long as you put in the effort and honestly find yourself a Broseph.
What does that mean? I won't ask what that means. Anyways. Alright, we're not going to do a whole draft because it's going a bit long. Here's what we'll do. We'll pick who we think's going to win Worlds. So let me pull up the list. There we go. Alright. We'll go... Dank, you can go first.
Ooh,
I'll take last pick.
The last pick is usually a good pick. Alright.
Yeah, Robin.
Going with his teammate.
The guy's the GOAT. Most consistent player of all time.
He's due. How did Robin do his previous Worlds?
Not amazing.
He's never been like a crazy Worlds performer.
He went top 12 and then 26th.
I do think his playstyle...
That's pretty good.
That's good. That was back in set... That was back in set... No. That was set 5.
Set 5. Ooh.
It's been a while.
Alright, Dehua.
I mean, I'll be honest.
Just pick Dehua.
If I can't come up here and say myself, what am I doing? Like, come on. Like, that's just a joke. So it has to be me. I'm going to win, and I'll be honest, it's not even going to be close, so...
Yeah, I know who Dan's picking, right? Who are you picking?
Who am I picking?
You're picking the PP, aren't you?
No, I'm picking Wajan Iverson.
Wajan Iverson?
This is Wajan Iverson is, I think, power rank #1 overall. I think that's not even a remotely controversial take.
Who do you think is top 3?
What do you mean?
Like who's after
overall
Wajan?
In the field?
Yeah, overall in the field.
I put Wajan, Coco, and Setsugo.
I was gonna say Coco, so I'll pick Coco. I believe in.
Oh, bro, you just baited me.
No, I was. I promised I was actually gonna pick Coco.
I see how it is.
I promised I was actually gonna pick Coco. I promise. No scam.
Yeah.
I promise you, like we are the biggest EU Glazers, like in NA. Like it's not even close. Yeah, we've just like I'm pretty sure EU saved us this set. Like we are not like 9th and 3 at regionals if it weren't for EU. So
made some good friends randomly.
You say that and you didn't even pick EU on your first pick.
I mean, Dehua picked him. Oh, as first overall. All right. That's gonna be everything for today. I appreciate your guys' time a lot. Hope you had fun on the podcast. I love talking about TFT. Dehua, good luck at Worlds. Any final shoutouts for any of you guys? Go left to right.
I'm left. Okay, shout out to Shoma and 1 time Peter.
Nice.
The future of NA.
Future of NA.
Shoma's the future of NA. I'm serious.
Dehua?
Also. Oh, yeah. I'm excited. Shout out to everyone who's like helped me get here. Shout out Broseph. Shout out Elia. Shout out everyone in the kitchen. Everyone in the study group. Yeah, I'm excited to go to Worlds. I'm just hoping to have a good time. And yeah, maybe I win 150k. So here we go.
Dan?
Thanks for having me. It's nice to see people still care about, talking about the competitive scene. Once upon a time, I hosted a podcast covering the competitive scene, and it's a lot of work. It's tough, especially if you want to do all the fancy stuff. But shout out to my family. I don't really get to talk about it very much, but this set was really hard on them, not in a bad way. It was very tough because there were so many events. I think there's something like 13 weeks in a row I had events to do.
Wow.
And that just means they have to pick up the slack and have to adjust around me. I'm the hardest gravitational pull in the family. So I try to make up for it. This week, I tried to be a really good husband and dad and everything like that. I was really present there as much as I could be. Took a lot of step back from stuff, but overall, really big thankful. And I'm about to ask for yet another heavy lift because I'm about to go to Worlds in 2 days to Dallas, and then I'm off for 3 weeks to EWC. So it's it's tough. It's tough for them, especially because now I'm in a period where I think my son and I are really bonding a lot. So it's kind of hard to be away from them. So I just want to give them a big shout out. They're the best. So I love my family. Thank you, Taylor. Thank you, Michelle.
Great. That was very heartwarming. My shout out is just gonna be to Dan. Thanks for coming on. I remember I think I watched you cast the first Worlds that Firebat won all the way back in the day. I never thought one day I would be able to have you on podcast.
11 years ago.
Like I was so thrilled to go on your podcast back in set 11, and then it's been a pleasure to have you. You're so like knowledgeable and like you're an excellent figure in the game. We're alongside Warthog, we're really lucky to have you as well.
Bro.
Oh, thanks.
Isn't it actually crazy? I think we all were like 12 years old watching Frodan. And now we're all in our 20s playing the same game.
It's great. Hopefully for a while too. Let's hope this pro circuit lets us keep doing this for another 11 years.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
All right.
Love it.
Thanks everyone who popped by. Thanks Twitch chat, and you'll catch us. Watch Dehua at Worlds. Cheer him on. And
let's go Dehua.
Thanks for coming by. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.